You know that sound? That awful screech of tires.
Oh, yeah.
Horns just blaring, maybe someone yelling out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it all the time now, right? Someone cuts somebody off, maybe caught on a dash cam, horns going wild, fists maybe shaking. Just pure road rage.
It's intense.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, like, why? Why do people who seem perfectly calm otherwise just transform into these, I don't know, rage machines when they get behind the wheel? That's really the core question for today, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's what we're digging into.
Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're really trying to unmask road rage. We're looking at the psychology behind all that driving fury. And for this one, we've pulled together quite a bit, got insights from an ex-police officer, which is fascinating.
Right.
Also, Dr. Bennett, she's a psychologist, specializes in anger. And then just tons of research looking at, those real-life dashcam videos you see everywhere.
Yeah, those clips tell a story. Our mission today, really, is to sift through all this and pull out the key stuff. The nuggets of knowledge, you could say. If we want to get a handle on the psychology driving it. Like, why do we overreact sometimes so intensely?
Yeah.
And, who's more likely to? Who's vulnerable?
Yeah.
And most importantly, how can we cool things down? Avoid being that driver in someone else's video.
Yeah, exactly. And let's just jump right in. We mentioned the ex-cop, Marcus Chen.
Right.
He saw this stuff constantly. Daily. He talked about her something really small, like someone just forgetting to use their turn signal.
Happens all the time.
All the time, and boom, instant fury. That driver suddenly becomes the enemy, the target. Gets brake checked, maybe screamed at, just like that.
And Dr. Bennett has a really interesting take on why that flip switch is so fast. She says, anonymity twists perception.
Anonymity?
Yeah. So in that moment, the other driver, they're not really a person anymore. Not someone with a family or a job. They're just a car violating your territory.
Wow. Your territory. That's possessive.
Exactly. It's like this instant dehumanization happens. And once that happens, the anger can just explode because those normal social checks and balances, they're kind of gone.
That escalation, that suddenness, it's what gets me. You see it on a dash cam, someone just loses it. What's actually happening inside their head? Dr. Bennett calls it an amygdala hijack. Can you unpack that for us? Why is that so common here?
Sure. So the amygdala, that's the primal part of our brain, right? It handles intense emotions, fear, anger, the really strong stuff.
Okay.
During an amygdala hijack, that part, the emotional reactive part, basically just takes over. It overrides the thinking part, the rational part, the prefrontal cortex.
So instinct takes over reason.
Pretty much. It's super fast, often totally irrational. It's built for immediate survival threats, not for navigating traffic etiquette,
Right.
And it's not always just entitlement either. So think about tailgaters. We often assume they're just aggressive jerks.
Yeah.
But often they're experiencing something called goal blocking stress. Their goal, maybe it's getting to work on time, or an important appointment feels blocked by you or the traffic.
So the frustration builds up.
Exactly. And that frustration spills out as aggressive driving. It's not necessarily malice. It's stress finding an outlet.
That really makes you think. And Marcus Chen, the ex-cop, he pointed out this double standard we have. He said something like, we judge others as idiots, but we excuse our own mistakes. He calls that road rage fuel.
That's such a critical point.
Yeah. What's the psychology behind that blind spot we all seem to have?
Well, Dr. Bennett's research points to something called the fundamental attribution error. Yeah. It's a known cognitive bias.
Okay, fundamental attribution error.
Yeah. Basically, when someone else makes a mistake, we tend to blame their character. Oh, they're just an idiot, or they're a terrible driver.
Right. We jump to conclusions about them.
Exactly. But when we make the same mistake, oh, it's the circumstances. I'm late. I'm stressed. The sun was in my eyes. We excuse ourselves.
Yeah, I can see that.
Understanding that bias, that tendency, it's actually really important for diffusing our own anger. Yeah. It makes you pause and think, okay, maybe they're just having a bad day too, instead of instantly labeling them an idiot.
So, okay, we've got anonymity, the amygdala hijack, this fundamental attribution error. Given all these potent psychological triggers, who's most likely to actually snap? Besides, the obvious type A folks.
Right. Marcus Chen, from his experience on the streets, he saw definite patterns. He put it pretty bluntly. Stress plus entitlement equals explosions.
Stress plus entitlement.
Yeah. He gave an example like someone who loses their temper at a barista because their coffee order is slightly wrong. That same person might absolutely rage if they miss their exit because someone was driving slow in front of them. It's like the pressure's already built up and the driving incident is just the final straw.
A pressure cooker ready to blow.
Exactly. And Dr. Bennett really emphasizes this too. She adds that chronic stress short fuses anyone. Anyone. The big takeaway here is that even you, right? If you're having a really rough week carrying a lot of stress, you could find yourself reacting way more aggressively in traffic than you normally would.
That's a sobering thought. It's not about being a bad person.
Not inherently. It's about circumstances, triggers, stress levels, all piling up and pushing you past your normal limit.
Okay, so that brings us to the practical side. How do we not become that person? How do we avoid ending up on someone's Dashcam feed? Marcus Chen had some really good practical rules for managing this stuff on the road.
Yeah, his advice was very grounded.
First, he said basically never engage. Specifically, he mentioned, those individuals people sometimes label Karens, though we'll get to that label itself later. But his point was, eye contact equals escalation. Don't even look.
That's such a crucial piece of advice, honestly. Engaging, even just making eye contact, can feel like a challenge to the other person.
Right, like you're accepting the fight.
Exactly. It draws you into that reactive loop. The goal is to consciously step out of that loop before it spirals. Disengage.
Okay, disengage. Makes sense. But what if you're the one being targeted? Someone's right on your bumper, flashing their lights, driving aggressively towards you.
Yeah, what then?
His advice is so simple, but maybe hard to follow in the moment. Don't be a hero. Just let the tailgater pass.
It's counterintuitive, isn't it? Your instinct might be to stand your ground or teach them a lesson.
Totally. Brake check them.
Right, but that's just pouring fuel on the fire. His point is, your safety, everyone's safety, is the absolute top priority. There's nothing to be gained by winning that encounter.
Only risk.
Only risk, exactly. And he also mentioned something interesting about dash cams themselves.
Oh, yeah.
He said they're not just for evidence after something happens. They can actually work as a kind of mental check for the driver using it, like a little reminder. Someone's watching. Stay calm.
Huh. Like a psychological nudge towards better behavior.
Sort of like self-policing, yeah. A little voice reminding you to keep your cool.
Interesting. Now, we actually had a listener question come in about this. Sam asked, basically, are people labeled Karens really more prone to road rage? It touches on that label you mentioned.
That's a great question, and Dr. Bennett addresses it head on. She's very clear. Gender stereotypes mislead.
Okay.
Anger itself isn't gendered, right? Women get angry. However, society has kind of latched onto this Karen label, often applying it to women who are outspoken or express anger, especially anger perceived as entitlement.
So the label itself might skew perception.
Exactly. It can amplify how their aggression is seen publicly, making it seem like a uniquely female trait when it's really not. It creates a misleading stereotype. It's important to look past labels and see the underlying triggers: stress, frustration, anonymity, which, as we've seen, can affect absolutely anyone.
So let's sort of recap the big picture here. When you see that driver absolutely losing it on the road, that dash cam footage, the key takeaway is they aren't necessarily like inherently evil people.
Right. More likely human.
Yeah, human. Probably stressed out, feeling anonymous inside their car. Maybe their brain just got, hijacked by that primal rage response for a moment.
We saw how that anonymity really twists how we see others, how those amygdala hijacks and that goal-blocking stress can just fuel massive overreactions.
And that mix, that stress plus entitlement combo Marcus Chen mentioned, that can really be explosive.
And remember the practical stuff from Chen, too.
Yeah.
Rule 1, never engage. Eye contact is escalation. Don't get drawn in.
Right. And if you're the target...
Don't try to be a hero. Just let them go. Let the tailgater pass. It's not worth it. And maybe think about that dash cam idea, even if you don't have one. That little mental prompt. Someone's watching. Stay calm. It could actually help.
And just circling back to that label discussion, remember Dr. Bennett's point. Those gender stereotypes can really muddy the waters. Anger isn't male or female, but society does tend to slap labels like Karen on women expressing anger, which can unfairly amplify how they're perceived.
Definitely something to be aware of. So maybe the challenge for all of us, for you listening, is to think about your own responses out there. That split second when someone cuts you off. Your best tool, really, against road rage, whether you're feeling it bubble up or you're seeing it happen, is probably just to breathe. Disengage.
Yeah. Don't become the angry driver in their story, right?
Exactly. Don't be the Karen or the Ken in their narrative.
And maybe take it a step further. What is all this stuff about road rage? The stress, the anonymity, the primal brain kicking in. What does it tell us about just human behavior when we're under pressure in general?
That's a really provocative thought.
How could understanding these triggers, maybe help us not just on the road, but elsewhere? Could it help us find a bit more empathy, maybe more patience for others and for ourselves?
Understanding the why can be really empowering, I think. Not just for managing your own reactions, but maybe for seeing others a bit differently too.
Stay safe out there, stay human.